Welcome to Rooted and Rising Healing. I'm your host, Hallie Roderick, and this space is for women rebuilding after betrayal. Here we make sense of what happened, find truth again, and reconnect with who you really are beyond the pain. Whether you're staying, leaving, or still in the middle, your story matters. Together, we'll explore truth, clarity, and the quiet courage it takes to rise from the wreckage of what was into the wholeness of who you're becoming. You're safe to be here. In the messy middle, in the rebuilding, and in the rising. Let's begin. Welcome back, and thanks for joining me on today's episode. Today's episode is a very special shared conversation with my friends and trusted colleagues, Amy Woolsey and Alana Gordon from Choose Recovery Services. So you'll hear their voices right away as we came together to talk about something exciting that we have planned. We have been planning for several months the Rise, Renew, and Restore retreat in Costa Rica, and we wanted you to hear the heart behind it, our passion behind creating this space for women to heal, to reconnect with yourselves and with your body, and be supported in a community. And what a better place to do it than in the amazing Costa Rican jungle. I'm so grateful to walk alongside Amy and Alana in this work and to offer this experience to women who are on the healing journey. So thanks for tuning into today's episode, and I hope you enjoy hearing about all the beautiful and exciting things that we have planned for this retreat that's coming up in July. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here with us for a bonus episode. I'm really excited to have our friend Hallie Roderick with us also. We're going to talk about something that the three of us cannot stop talking about, and that is something that the three of us are doing together. We are so excited, and it is Costa Rica, our women's retreat, Rise, Renew, and Restore. Y'all, this retreat has been in our hearts for a long time. And I don't want to speak for y'all, but I feel like once it all came together and we just made the decision, well, and I think, Alana, when you were there in Costa Rica and I saw the background, I was like, no, we're doing this. I feel like all of our bodies were like, yes, this is the place. This is what needs to happen. We're going to just take a few minutes to talk about the retreat and why you need to come join us. Let's just talk about the name and why Rise, Renew, Restore is what we decided to call it. What does Rise mean for each of you? Well, when I think about Rise, when we were talking about, defining what the name meant, the first thing that I thought of was rising into that self-trust and rising into more of an inner knowing where my internal compass is what I follow. And I think that that's such an important part of our healing, where we can tune out what everybody else is trying to tell us that we need to do and really just tuning in so that we can rise into that highest, best version of ourselves. And I have so many thoughts around that the ripple effect of us being able to do that. But that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Rise, is rising into that better version of myself.
Yeah. I have the image of when you go through betrayal, there's this collapse, a collapsing of reality, a collapsing of your sense of self, a collapsing of your joy, just so much of you collapse. And I think even in my journey, there was this massive physical collapse. I literally collapsed to the floor and just sobbed for the longest time. And so in this rising, when I think of the word rise, we're not climbing up a hill. We're not forcing something. I think of this gentle rising, and to have support in this journey of others who have done this work and who have tools who can come give you a hand and help you lift and rise. It, to me, is a very gentle, beautiful process versus this forcing. So we're going to move from collapse into this rise. And I love that we chose the three words. On the back end, us trying to come up with this title, what we called it, we played around with a lot of different things, but these three words are going to be embedded into everything we do. Yeah. So that Rise, Renew, Restore, there's going to be specific things that's going to walk you through each one. So you're not doing it alone. Even coming we will hold your hand and help you move higher and higher and higher so you can have that freedom and move out of those parts of you that even with all the healing work you've done still feel collapsed.
Yeah. Well, and this is such a body focused, and all of each one of our skills and abilities as professionals we're bringing like to the table in this retreat also. So for me, Rise, I'm thinking more even embodied, like the body. And this idea, like this visual I have of a shedding maybe the role or the rules that you've had to live by in that relationship or in that experience of betrayal, and just coming back online. So I feel like shedding and rising out of maybe hypervigilance or hyperattunement, the fixer, the rescuer, whatever that is for you. For me, it's rising into something that is holistic. I'm so excited to bring the modalities that each of us love and are skilled in and are passionate about to the table for this retreat also. Like, it gives me goosebumps to think about the work that we're going to be able to do with these women and their bodies and helping them rise into them, reconnect into them. For me, that disconnect from my body was such a loss. So I'm imagining that part of it with this retreat too. Makes me excited. You know, it also makes me think of, like, for me, and this is just probably my own personal, maybe not true for everyone, but I think that I didn't even really know how disconnected I was from my body pre-betrayal, right?
Yeah.
And as I started in my healing journey, I realized that maybe even before that, I didn't even know how disconnected I was. So I love that with the rise, then we move into the renew, which makes me think of getting back to me.
Yeah.
Getting back to the me that maybe parts of me I feel like I had lost in the betrayal, but also just reconnecting with the parts of me that maybe I hadn't even discovered yet and have had the opportunity and continue to have the opportunity to just renew back into who I am. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and renew the nervous system is also coming to my mind. Like that dysregulated, disconnected nervous system. And so renew that, when I hear that word, renewing the nervous system comes to mind for me.
Well, even with the nervous system, I think of how we can live for years in functional freeze, or we can live for years in hypervigilance, or just with our foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, chaos.
Yeah, and that becomes our new baseline. And so to have an opportunity to be away from all of the demands, all of life, be somewhere safe, protected with safe people, and then be able to do this nervous system work really does allow extra layers and levels for us to go in this type of work. So that specifically, I'm really excited about. And I'll just say, I remember I did a retreat one time and it was far away. It was in a foreign country and I was going all by myself. And when I first heard about it, everything in me was like, go. And everything in my brain said no. Was all the reasons of why that sounds scary or big or I can't do it. And all of the blocks were coming up. And that's where I really had to look at, okay, because I've done some of my deeper work with my body of like, okay, my body says yes. This is really hard and it's really scary. And I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this anyway, because talking about going to this foreign country, doing this deeper level work, that can sound like parts of you be like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. And other parts of you are going to go, that sounds really scary. And can I do it? Can I fly down to Costa Rica all by myself? A, if you're in a group, you could always bring a friend. But B, you can't.
Well, we have. Well, let's just tell y'all, we actually have a travel agent that Alana, you and I use all the time. She is amazing. And we have her available to you to help you with all of those little details if that's what's holding you up, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you can get help. We have support for you to figure all of those little pieces out. So yeah, I love that you mentioned that because I can relate to that too. Just
the body wanting one thing and the human brain that's designed not to support those goals going, no. So,
well, and if you come by yourself, you are not going to go home alone. You are going to go home with a sisterhood of women who will have been with you in beautiful, deep work, and you will make those forever connections.
I was that same thing is that we're also going to make intentional effort to help you connect with each other ahead of time so that if you want to coordinate travel, you can do that and fly in around the same time, or if you're coming from the same place, that you don't have to do that by yourself if you don't want to. And at the same time, there's something really empowering of making that choice for yourself and going, you know what, this is scary. And I'm going to do it because my body's telling me yes. I also was thinking as you were talking that a lot of the in-person events that we've done, when women come to that, it's not uncommon for them to be really nervous to step into that place, especially if they don't know anybody. But almost always after like day one, the first couple of hours, they start to feel what actual safety really feels like. And
I think co-regulation.
And I think for the first time, a lot of women have experienced that for the first time, what safety, emotional safety, nervous system safety actually feels like. And this one in Costa Rica is going to be next level, I think, when it comes to that. Because not only are we going to be together and the three of us are passionate about safety and everything's okay, and we're going to hold you. This is an opportunity for you to put everything down and just let us take care of you for once, leave everything at home. But also, you are in a foreign place that is fully away from your normal everything. And so it is going to be different. And we're going to be in this beautiful healing environment with nature all around us. Just saying it gives me the chills. I'm so excited about that piece. But if you don't know what safety feels like, you will walk away from this changed, knowing what safety actually is.
Yeah. So restore is the last word of the title of our retreat. As you're talking, maybe that's restoring your confidence, restoring your courage, restoring your curiosity, your self-compassion. Like I'm thinking of all of the 8 C's of the higher self, but all of those core characteristics that could often get buried in this type of betrayal and trauma. That's what's coming to my mind when I think about restore also.
I will say too, as I'm hearing you talk about that, the word that keeps coming to my mind is joy.
That's me too. Joy was literally just rolling through my head.
Yeah, because we lose, I can't tell you how many clients, and even in my own lived experience, I felt like, am I ever going to experience joy again? And we have purposefully and intentionally planned joy in this retreat. So yes, we're going to do some healing work.
And tell us some of those things. Let's the beach, first of all, hello. Okay. That's my joy. But y'all, what are some other things that we're going to do that are going to be joyful? So excited.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I'm like, there's going to be joy in many different things. Like some you wouldn't think there would be joy in. Doing breath work, there's something about breath work that, yes, there's a shedding and an unlocking, but then there's a stepping into this joy and freedom. So there's joy in some of the somatic work as you're getting these releases. But then we've also built in fun. There's going to be time for laughter, time to be silly, time to let your hair down and not worry about makeup. We have an ATV. We have an ATV tour that there's parts of it that made me giggle like a little girl and squill out in joy. And it ended with swimming in a waterfall that was shallow, but beautiful. Like being in nature, seeing the monkeys go outside of your window as you're sitting there having a morning tea. These moments of being able to just feel. Amy's not thrilled about this one, but there's zip lining. And as you're soaring through the air, doing something that scares you and stepping into it and feeling the safety of being attached and the freedom of that flying, you can have that joy. So
put my money where my mouth is right now, because yes, when Alana's ziplining, I was like, hell no. But I am stepping into what I am preaching, and I'm absolutely going to be courageous and try it.
Well, and this particular zipline place that we use, the last one you do is a Superman one.
Oh my gosh.
And a Superman one means they put you in this complete harness, but you lay there on your belly and you fly like Superman.
No.
It is amazing. It is amazing.
But I'm going to try. I'm going to try and have
Strap me into that zip line right now. I can imagine it just listening to you talk about it, Alana. I can't wait to do it.
That's awesome. Well, those of you that are like me, we will link together. We will brave this together. You won't be alone. I'm scared. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I think the other thing that really excites me and brings me joy, and this might be selfishly and personally, but when the three of us have been together and been able to combine our gifts in these in-person events, there is just, and I'm not trying to brag on us, but maybe this is just the three of us, but it is magical to me. And there is just something about the three of us together and our passion for these women and the love that we have for, we know some of the ladies that are already registered and I already have love for them. The ones that don't, we are already thinking and preparing for each of you. And so that to me personally and from the professional standpoint is one of the things that I'm so excited about, is just to meet these women who are ready to step into this rise, renew, and to go home restored so that they can re-enter life from a different perspective.
I love that you said that. I agree with you, Hallie. It makes me, anytime the three of us get together and do something, it is magic. It is powerful. It's incredible. I grow when we are together. It's not just this imparting whatever. Like, I grow. I am better when I am with the two of you. So I cannot wait.
This is part of my continued healing journey, is to continue to facilitate these healing experiences for other women that I haven't even maybe met yet. And this is part of my continued growth, and I love it. And I can't wait for this one. As we've been thinking about this, one of the things that keeps coming to me is that I wish I had something like this a few years ago at this point in my healing journey, for the women who have done some work and are ready, but maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you've done all the things and you feel stuck. I wish I would have had something like this, and maybe it existed and I didn't know how to find it. I don't know. But that is something that I am so happy that we're able to provide for the women who are ready for this. Is, man, I wish I'd have had something like this.
Yeah.
We only have a few spots left. So if you are interested, I would say do it sooner than later. You can put a deposit down, then pay for the whole thing. We also work with a few companies that you can do payment plans through. So if you go, I don't have all that money right now, we do work with companies you can do that. And if you have more individual questions, you can always schedule a session and actually sit down and talk through those. So that's another thing you can do.
And then in July in Uvita, Costa Rica, Alana's been there. It is amazing. So beautiful. She showed me all the videos. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us and letting us talk about and get so excited. And we hope that we see you there.
Thank you for being here with me inside Rooted and Rising Healing. Remember, healing isn't a destination. It's a returning to your truth, to your voice, to the woman you were always meant to be. You have the power to rise at your own pace, in your own way. And when it feels hard, just come back to your breath and remind yourself, still I rise. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love if you shared it with another sister on the journey. And until next time, stay rooted, stay rising. You've got this.